Hello everyone and welcome to this video, which is in our Great Engine Middlegames series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler and we have got a stunning attack from Stockfish for you and brilliant defense by Torch. This is from the CCC20 Bullet Finals. So the opening was a rather sort of dodgy Steinitzy sort of Lopez really, with knight e7 and then black taking everything on d4, which just gives white a big space advantage. So not a very promising start for poor Torch, but well, we've reached this position and black's achieved a few things. Got a knight on g4, which is nice and solid and kind of blocks the attack of the queen on the black king. Got a couple of pawns on c5 and b5, so I suppose a few possibilities to disrupt the white position with b4. But yeah, I mean, there's this weak pawn on d6, great square on d5, which the bishop's using at the moment, and a knight can use later. And yeah, I mean, the rooks are well placed, and these pawns are pretty mobile, and of course the white king is safe as well. So I mean, really a very nice advantage for white, a very nice position in actual fact. But yeah, the engines weren't too worried about it actually. I think Stockfish was at plus 0.3, but well, plus 0.3 doesn't mean that you can't worry the opponent, and that's certainly what Stockfish did with this move. First of all, f5. Now this is a rather risky little move. It opens up the line of the queen on the pawn on d6, but it also gives black the ability to put a knight on e5 at a later stage, which is obviously a good blockading square. Torch played rook e7, and here Stockfish decided that it was time to go all in with the rather shocking, I certainly didn't see it coming, bishop takes f7. What is bishop takes f7 doing? Well, bishop takes f7 is actually destroying the support of this pawn on g6. And well, you notice that the queen and the rook are lining up on that d6 pawn. So rook is going to land on d6, and then it's going to be looking over at that pawn on g6, which is now undefended. So yeah, I mean, black needs a decent reply to that threat. And there's really only one, and it's also the most natural move, I think, which is rook f takes f7. So rook takes d6, and then queen e8. Now, against all other captures on f7, white was doing something like this: rook takes g6, king h8, and then rook g5, and then just taking this pawn and then undermining the support of the knight on g4. However, black, having set up this queen and rook battery, has the defense rook takes f5 in this position, because obviously e takes f5 allows rook takes e1 check. That's always, there's so many hidden points to these defenses all the time. It's so yeah, I mean, after king h8, yeah, I mean, white can do something like rook d1, but then we go b4, we're undermining this one. It's just a total mess basically. But black seems to be doing all right there. So white plays this very clever move, rook ed1, and just sidesteps this pin and prepares to play the move rook d8 when, well, the queen is somewhat short of squares here. And yeah, I mean, black's got a very important decision to make here. G takes f5, feels very, very natural here, but white plays rook d8, and after queen c6 we play rook 1d6. And quite amazing setup. It happens all the time in this game, but these two rooks just completely pinning down this black queen, and also obviously creating all sorts of entry points on the king side. I mean, if you go back to b7, I just shimmy in with queen f4, threatening queen g5, and if you try and cover with knight f6, I go knight d5. I mean, I'm hitting this, I'm threatening queen g5, and knight d5, queen h6. Check is checkmate in actual fact. So that's really, really dangerous. Now you could throw in a little intermezzo, f4, which was kind of the problem that I had with it. But yeah, the engines just say queen f3, queen b7, and now this move is really hard to spot. Rook d5. And yeah, you're just coming round to g5, you're going to take on h5, and then this knight is going to be loose. If you go something like rook e5, then I've just got rook e5, knight e5, and queen h5, and I've got queen e5 mate, queen h8 mate. Complete carnage, basically. That is a really difficult thing to spot, rook d5. because you're so focused on the 6th rank, and then you have to move one back and and attack the black king that way. And of course, you've got to visualize somehow that because this 5th rank wasn't open before, it's only when black plays f4 that the 5th rank is open. That's pretty tough to keep up with all that's happening there. But Torch played a much better move, played bishop takes f5. I mean, the piece doesn't matter, that bishop on c8 is kind of useless. The important thing is to keep that pawn on g6, keep the cover for the black king. Basically, render queen f4 to g5 a null threat. So, white could take on f5, but Stockfish went all in with rook d8 and rook 1 d6. I mean, once again, just hitting that queen over to b7. If you go to c7, of course, then knight d5 is very dangerous. Forking this one, and just notice also freeing c3 for the white queen with the possibility of queen h8 check. So, I mean, this is unbelievably difficult defense. Certainly a bullet, you would think, but Torch manages beautifully. So queen b7. And now e takes f5, rook takes f5. And, well, just time to draw a breath here. Yeah, I mean, the material is equal. So black's managed to hold that. And also black's managed to hold a pretty good barrier in front of the king. And, well, there are now actually some threats against white's king. So b3 was played by Stockfish here, just to give the king an escape square on b2, and there's now a very dangerous threat, which is just to play knight to d5 here. Knight d5 hitting the rook on e7, and then follow up with queen c3. And the black rooks have got to be careful. You can't just go for a counter attack against the white king, so simply rook d7. So rooks have got to stay on the 2nd rank. But yeah, it's not 100% easy to see how we're going to stop white from getting that new angle of attack, the diagonal. But Torch manages it beautifully again. We get queen c7 here. So knight d5 is no longer possible because of simply rook d5, which is pretty nice, just exploiting that pin on the b8 g3 diagonal. So knight e4 was played by Stockfish, and it doesn't look half bad. Okay, knight d5 is the ultimate, but knight e4 also frees c3 for a check, and this knight is heading to g5, which is quite unpleasant. Well, b4 was played by Torch, and it's a clever move. I mean, it's stopping queen c3. It's also stopping this white king from escaping, so there's no escape to a3 or c3. So, yeah, somewhere you see the glimmers of counterplay somehow. You could just sacrifice maybe a rook or whatever, and then just get to the back rank. So knight g5 played by Stockfish, and now now it starts going a little bit crazy. There's a few different moves that black can play, but Torch plays the move rook f6, which is quite nice, just covering the e6 square. Obviously you can't take here because of queen g3, and just looking to well, maybe not even looking to exchange off rooks straight away, but just adding some tension there. So queen d3 was played by Stockfish, and this is a rather nasty move, unpinning and also threatening rook d7. And now the game gets really wild, because black plays the move knight f2. And what's the idea of knight f2? Well, we're obviously attacking the queen, so we're trying to disrupt that ability to put a rook on d7. And we're also starting to reach towards this white king, because now ideas like rook e1 and knight d1 check are going to be possible. So yeah, it's really starting to get thrilling. And well, Stockfish throws in a little queen c4. Yeah, actually the nice thing is that rook e1, king b2, knight d1 is covered, because now the two rooks are covering the d1 square. And we're also just threatening queen g8 or rook g8 check. So yeah, all of a sudden, well, white didn't find the c3a1 diagonal, but definitely found the a2 g8 diagonal. But it's quite amazing. Rook d6 is possible now. Queen g8 check and king f6. And yeah, it is quite amazing that there's no mate or anything like that. I think the key thing is that the black king has got two possible ways to escape. I mean, it could just come round here, which means that the queen's got to be a little bit careful about staying on that diagonal, or the king could just come round here, you know, and well, you know, maybe hide shogi style. So yeah, I mean, white's struggling a little bit to keep the black king boxed in. All the same, I still do find it completely amazing that, you know, that this could be a drawing for black. So rook f8 check, king e5, and yeah, rook takes f2 was a move that I wasn't really sure about. How on earth is white doing this? But queen d8 is the engine idea here. Obviously looking for rook d1 and then queen d4 check. So rook e2 and then king f6. And yeah, amazingly there is no mate here. What the engines were trying was this lovely little tactic. But after rook e6, queen d8, rook h7, black is absolutely fine here. Yeah, you know, the rooks are covering everything. There's just no hope that that white can achieve anything. You might even worry a little bit that you might lose it as white if the black king gets too active there. So Stockfish played knight f3 check, king e4, queen c4 check, and well, at some stage I think there comes a moment in every king's life where it decides it's run enough. And indeed, king e3 would allow queen f4, king e2, and then this lovely idea, knight d4 check. And after c takes d4, queen takes f2 is checkmate. The king has wandered just a little bit too far. So Torch played rook d4 here. Knight takes d4, queen e2, king d5, queen f2, and now a key move here, queen e5, centralizing the queen and rook. And yeah, you know, black is in a lot of danger, of course, but the queen and the rook are beautifully centralized to deal with any checks. And of course, we've got, you know, queen e1, queen e3 check just to swap off queens. And well, once the queens are exchanged, maybe a few of the black pawns will be loose, but this king will be so active that yeah, you know, there's not going to be any danger at all. So rook d8, king c5, king d1 from Stockfish just to stop queen e1, queen e3, hoping to get some action against the king. But after a5, we got queen f1, king b6. And yeah, there's not really that much for white to do. You can't really move your queen away anywhere because, well, the queen will give some sort of mate. So Stockfish finished off with a little flourish there, little distraction, queen f6. But after king c5, queen e7, queen d6, well, it's just queen and pawn versus queen and pawn, equal pawns. And the game was drawn soon after. I really, really love that. I mean, I always love being shocked by, you know, by engine moves. I suppose that's always the, you know, the lovely thing that you've got. And well, I mean, I have to say that this move, bishop f7, took me completely by surprise. And I mean, I think the key thing was that there were so many lovely ideas. Just notice one more that I forgot to show to you. So instead of the best move, rook ff7 in this position, rook ef7 led to a lovely little idea. So rook d6. Rook d7 there, and then rook g6 check, and then rook g5. And this was the idea that I was talking about, you know, when black places the rooks just a little bit worse, white just plays very calmly, takes the pawn on g6, and then goes after the one on h5. So rook g7, rook g5, king g8, and then this move knight d5. Bishop takes f5, e takes f5, queen d5, and well, you might want to spend, if you want to practice your tactics, you might want to spend a little bit of time looking at it, because it's the most beautiful geometric motif, and again, I can't think I've ever quite seen it in this combination. It's so white plays rook e7, just distract this rook from g7, and after rook e7 we go queen g4 check, rook g7, and then queen g7. And yep, you've guessed it, we're picking up the queen laterally there. Really amazing tactic there. Absolutely beautiful. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed that game. Hope that Torch fans enjoyed that wonderful display of defence there. You've got to say that Torch is having to perform miracles to hold on against Stockfish. Stockfish is so strong at bullet. I thought it was a slight weakness, actually. I hadn't realised Stockfish was so amazing at this time control. Just seems to be sacking pieces non-stop. Just incredible. But a great defensive performance there from Torch. Found some really amazing moves. So there we are. Hope you liked the video. Why not give a like, subscribe, take a look at my new books. Silicon Road to Chess Improvement, and especially Reengineering the Chess Classics, which, well, if you enjoyed the series I did on the great Polish player Dawid Janowski, then you'll definitely enjoy Reengineering the Chess Classics. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and keep your eyes peeled for more Torch videos. Thanks for watching.